Is anybody even up at this moment? Surely not. But I got a message. Maybe I should wait. Or should I? Probably should wait. But if anybody's up, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure people are up. What's everybody doing? Yo, what's up, homie? How you doing? It's late as hell. I know. You should be in bed. You should be in bed. I should be too. Sleep is very essential. I seem to not get that though. I'm so hypocritical when it comes to that. I understand its benefits and I can't force myself to sleep. It's like, this thing come with an on-off switch. This thing in here, man, it's truly oppositional defiant disorder. It's gonna do what it wants. Can't even help that. Yeah, you get it. It's like, well, what do I do about it, right? It's like, do I take a drug to kind of get me there? Well, then I got to rely on that every night. And it's like, well, I don't want that. So what is it? Do I just stay up? I guess, you know. There's a good trick, though. I'll tell you something that kind of helped me. Like, if you just continue to tell yourself, I know it doesn't always work, I promise it doesn't, but sometimes it does. If you're tired enough, I guess. Just don't think about shit but falling asleep and keep telling yourself, like every time you get distracted, you start thinking, your mind wanders off and you're like squirreling out. You just got to think about sleep again. You just have to make that the central focal point of everything you're thinking about. Yeah, sometimes. What are they? Just out of curiosity. You don't have to tell me if you don't feel comfortable, but what are they though? It's not like Ambien, right? I took Ambien before, and man, if you stay up on Ambien, that's just like acid. Swear you start hallucinating. Just salute, homie. Damn, it's some people up. I see y'all. What y'all doing up on this Thirsty Thursday? Yo, what's up, Mark? I look like a rich guy's pocket line. That's cool. Whatever. Okay. Earlier I went on my rant. This time I'm gonna look at y'all's comments, and just reply back. I'll reply back. Let's go. Hit me with it. I see Lent. Is that already started? I know it's coming up, but I'm not a Catholic, so unless there's something else you're referring to with that. Which could be. I was trying to give, Can you let me know if I'm ugly? I don't know what you look like. Can I be mod? What do you mean? Can you be moderate? Pocket lint. Gotcha. Well, okay. Okay. Yo, did y'all just see what just happened? Why the fuck did that just happen? I'm telling you, they're trying. Man. Dude, my stream just ended out of nowhere. No explanation. Because I was starting to get more viewers. Is that not crazy? Like, do y'all see this happening to me? Like, God, dude. Like, yeah, so you noticed it too. Like, and the funny thing is, man, like, I'm not trying to bring hatred anywhere. I really want what everybody wants. It's a peaceful coexistence. And okay, if telling the truth, if telling the truth about, I guess, a certain specific group of people, because that's who's after me, if that really bothers them, then maybe they should change what they're doing. It's not my problem because I just observe. I observe and report. That's all I do. Okay, I watch and I critically analyze things and then I come talk about it. Like, why shouldn't we? We're literally in a country that it's supposed to be here for this simple reason is that we have the freedom of speech, religion, etc. Like, at least I'm not committing a genocide to people, right? Live and let live. But I can criticize you all I want because I'm not immune to it. Criticize me back. They'll call you an anti-Semite, but they won't call you a liar. There's truth to that. As ironic as that statement sounds. And the brutal reality is I'm nowhere near anti-Semitic. I don't hate any group collectively. I don't. But if I point out facts, then I'm pointing out facts. And if the facts make you angry at me, whose problem is it really? Huh? Like, whose problem is it really? I'm merely stating facts, and you're mad, and you want to call me, you want to use an ad hominem attack at me and call me anti-Semitic. I think you're anti-Semitic because you must hate yourself. And you might probably not even be Semitic. That's the brutal reality of it. I would say 80% of people that claim that someone's anti-Semitic aren't even Semitic. It's another brutal reality. Theodore Herzl started that shit. Come on, man. It's fake. It's all fake and gay, like Candace said. Who buys the story that the feds are feeding us about Charlie Kirk? Y'all really believe this shit? We just found out. Well, I've always known. I think a lot of y'all did too. It just hurts to see in real time. Our country is led by child fuckers. Child fuckers. And I don't care if Donald Trump didn't touch a single girl. The fact that he didn't beat the fuck out of everyone who did that he knew about, he's guilty. Being complicit is just as bad. Don't care. Like, imagine hanging out with a pedophile. Just imagine that. You not being one and hanging out with one. How sick is that? Birds of a feather flock together, right? I don't need to Google my pineal gland. I'd have more access to it if there wasn't fluoride in the water. So yeah, I understand. I know exactly what my pineal gland does. Dimethyltryptamine. That's a trip to me. I literally put it in one of my songs. Come on, man. You must not know who I am. But you can go back and do some research and you'll find out. I've been talking about this shit. Will Ferrell, I guess he's one of the good ones. Thank you. Hey, salute. That's right. Real recognize real always. That's why trolls can't really hurt, like, can't offend me. I know myself. And I hate it for people that don't know yourself. It's a difficult journey though. It does take a lot to get there. It took me about 30 years. It did, truthfully. It took me about 30 years to find me. I realized I spent my whole life pretending to be something I wasn't. Real shit. I can't believe that though. Like, you want to resent it too. Like, you do. You want to resent that shit, right? You want to be mad, even more mad at yourself when you realize what you've been doing. But you can't. You got to accept it and keep moving. You have to. So anybody going through that, just know I'm here for you. Reach out if you want to talk to somebody, because I know it's a difficult journey. The hardest part is literally forgiving yourself, always. Because if you care, if you got a heart and you care as much as like I do, right? You know, you've got to be a harsh critic on yourself. You got to be a harsh critic on yourself because you would have to feel responsible for everything that happens, you know. And it's good to be a critic of yourself so you can progress, but you also got to let up sometimes and let yourself breathe and give yourself grace and mercy just like Jesus would. Jesus does. God gives us grace and mercy that I know every day that I don't deserve. I don't deserve. I was a scumbag, real scumbag, straight up. It's not funny. I laugh because I feel so uncomfortable saying it out loud. It's like a coping mechanism. But I really, truly am disgusted with how I used to be. But I'm so different now. And everybody, that's why, you know, I think that's why God picks people like me to have a platform to talk to people because I'm no better than anybody in this whole world. I know that. I'm like the worst person, the least qualified to be like a leader of some righteousness. It would make me the biggest hypocrite ever, almost, you know. But maybe it makes me the best fit because it shows his power, you know. Like, for me to make this change, it was almost like I wouldn't have believed it myself personally. And maybe that's why it's best because I could understand anybody. You know, it's like I never intended to make music for Christians. Like, but I did have an idea. I did want to bring people closer to God. But at that point, I didn't even accept Jesus Christ as my savior at that point myself. I was confused. I was lost. And that's what I've come to realize. Like, I don't even hate the devil. I don't. He's just lost. Straight up. Yeah, if you know, to harbor hatred in your soul, it's really hurting you. It's always gonna hurt you to harbor hatred, no matter what it's about. You know, for instance, I'm not a fan of genocide. I don't like the fact that innocent women and children are being killed in Gaza. I don't like that. But that doesn't mean I should hate the IDF or hate Israel. I'm not a fan, but I'm not gonna let what they do take a part of me out of my spirit. Because that's what happens when you harbor hatred. You're letting them win no matter what. They want you to hate. They want you to hate. That's their goal. So you're letting them win if you start hating. Don't be a hater. Don't hate nothing. Just understand that some people are lost and pray for them. That's the only solution. You know why? Because I've tried and I make very, very good, sound, logical points too. But you cannot make anybody change. You know, I used to think I could change the world, but hadn't even started to change myself yet. Now, how arrogant was I? You know, and that's the part of me that I talk about when I say I was disgusted and resent myself a little bit. I'm still working on trying not to resent that part of my life because I'm sure it happened for some reason, right? You know, it had to have been some reason that I was like that. Not gonna blame it on anybody but myself, of course, but it had to have meant something though, because I did learn from it. I did. And you know what? It's like I said, you just, anybody else going through it, you cannot beat yourself up over it. You have to accept it and try and take what you can from it. Sometimes you don't learn shit from it though. And that's still the facts too. That could be true. You don't learn shit from it. And it's just like, damn, that's just a lot of pain I went through for nothing. You know, but nonetheless, you gotta, what I realized too is that I had, you know, I did a lot of things shamelessly because I had no morals. I could have been bought and sold for whatever at a certain point in my life. Well, for most of my life, for the majority of my life, you know, I'd have done anything for the check. I was so shallow. It was so shallow. But when you find out, that when you realize that, yes, Andrew Tate's not lying. This is a matrix. We are in a matrix. Straight up. We are. It's a wonder that people could believe in anything now. When you find out how much we've been lied to, it's like, it's terrible. It's like ruined everything, really, truly. It has. That's how detrimental fucking lying is. It has ruined a whole society. It has ruined a whole society. Lies, non-transparency. Because you know what? When you start to find out the truth and that you've been lied to, it creates an anger and frustration within you. Because I can tell you personally, it's like people control me on here all day. Talk about my gray hair, say I'm ugly, say I'm old, washed out rapper. You can say whatever you want to like that. That don't hurt me. But when you underestimate my intelligence by lying to me and trying to make me believe something like pissing on my leg and calling it rain type shit, whoa, that's when I start to get frustrated. Because, see, I know if you call me ugly, I know you're lying because I'm cute as hell. So I don't believe you. But when you tell me your intentions are good and you're trying to change the world for this and that, and this is what you prioritize, and then I come to find out that's your fucking little kids, yeah, that's going to hurt my feelings a lot. Yeah. Because I started to support you. That's why. See, now I'm the dummy. I'm the fool. And it's not even your fault. It's mine. Because I gave you the benefit of the doubt. So then how do I believe in anybody else now? Right? How could I? Going off logic, it's like, well, you have to notice patterns and trends. That's all it is you gotta aggregate that data, right? And you gotta make a critical analysis about it. And it's like, nobody even knows how to critically think anymore. That's not even taught in school. Quite frankly, I don't know if you can teach it. But also, quite frankly, I don't think you should go to school. Not anymore. For what? For what? They put us in a debt system, okay, and they don't even teach you how to build equity or how to get out of it or how to beat it because they want you enslaved. Usury is a new form of slavery. Well, not new, it's been around. It's just a sneaky way to keep you enslaved through debt. That's why they got all these apps now. We could borrow money with a huge interest rate just to get groceries. You can literally get some shit off Amazon. You can go in debt. You can accrue debt by buying some shit off Amazon now. You think that's just by happenstance? You don't think that was intentional? They got to play their running, folks. They've been doing it. And I don't care necessarily who you want to pinpoint it as being, certain group, etc. It's happening. That's all that matters. Now, what do we do about it? You know. Now, I will say, people that support their oppressors are retarded. They are. And they exist. There are people that support their oppressors, for sure. For instance, like, what's his name? Tatum, Officer Tatum, Talamood Tatum. You know, he capes for the Jews all day as if he doesn't know who's behind the North Atlantic slave trade. Who owned those ships, folks? What, some raggedy Europe, just regular European whites? No, no. It was them Stings, them Bergs. Really was. You can look it up. It's facts. You know. Christopher Columbus was a Jew. It's funny. The Jews got expelled from Spain. Next day is when Columbus set sail. 109 different countries. Everybody knows that number now. Okay, now put context with it. When did Columbus set sail, and when did the Jews last get expelled from Spain? Look it up. Look it up. Someone tell me I'm wrong. They can call you anti-Semitic. They will not call you a liar. Because how could you? I'm only spitting facts. That's why there's been such an effort to distort facts and reason, etc. Because they don't want you to know. They want you controlled. They don't want you to notice. They want you to be a good goy. Good goy. Sit down and shut up. Hey, someone tell me this. And I'm sorry, I'm back on it. But when's the last time you looked at a new construction site, right? And been like, oh, them Jews is putting in work. See, that's how I know Jesus was built different. Jesus was a carpenter. He was the only Jew that did work with his hands. It's a fact. Tell me I'm lying. Call me a liar. Don't call me an anti-Semite. Call me a liar then. And I'll fry your ass up with the truth. I'm sorry, I'm done. I don't care how canceled I can get, how shadow banned I can get. I live for this. I was saved by something bigger than me. By the same person they killed. And see, it's like nobody's still, see, why maybe I'm tripping to still be angry about that. Because sure, it was for a reason. But fuck that. If Lil Durk could slide on his ops, I could slide for who saved me. I'm sliding for Jesus, folks. They will legitimately, live and let live. I get it. You can do that. But maybe just take out denouncing Jesus. How about that? How about we start there, right? Can we start the negotiation there? Like, how about you just not say he's burning in hell in human feces? Can we just start the discussion there? You don't have to accept him if you don't want. Fine. I get it. Y'all choose to believe in nothingness. It's a fact. You'll look it up. And, that's fine. I get it. They're more, well, we as people control our life, da 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 da. And it's like, dude, yeah, give an inch and they take a mile, right? Shouldn't have gave them all this freedom, all this free will, because they took it and they really ran with it. They took it and then they thought they became God. You realize that? They took it and they thought that made them God. So therefore, everything else just became whatever they wanted. They have no repercussions. They don't believe in hell. They do not believe in hell. Oh my gosh, just think of your life. If you didn't have to think, oh shit, if I do this, I might burn in hell. Which, by the way, you don't burn there. It's just the absence of everything. Which is funny because it coincides with what they believe in, which is absolute nothingness. They worship hell. I know because I went to hell. I didn't want to go, though. I went on accident. That's where God was sending me, though, because I didn't accept Jesus either. I went there, though. Nothingness is no fun at all. It's worse than fire. I would have wished my ass was lit on fire. I swear to you. I would have wished. You know why? Because that would be just a little shimmer of light would have been so beautiful to have in hell. Straight up. Nothingness is fucking terrible. And it makes sense too when you think about it. It's like, well, if the devil is opposition to God, right? And God is light, devil's dark, hell, etc. Everything was created by God. So the opposition would be what? Nothing created. Everything gone. The absence that thereof. That's hell. I seen it. So nobody could tell me different because I experienced it myself. I died and I saw it and I went there. And it was terrible. It was the scariest shit ever. And it was so bad that I remember it so vividly right now. And I shouldn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I shouldn't. And if you think I'm lying, that's fine. Like, I don't know why you would think I have some motive to make some shit up like that, but I'm just telling you. And I think that there's probably other people that have gone through the same thing that it kind of aligns with. But if not, whatever. I'm just telling you my experience. And you can believe what you want, but I'm telling you, like, that day's going to come for everybody. Everybody. There is, in the chosen people, are you kidding me? Hey, look, there's a new chosen people, folks. It's called, I sent my son to die for these people that believeth in me shall not perish but have everlasting life. Those people are the chosen ones. And that's why that land belongs to Christians. Followers of Christ. Period. And you could how can you say that when I say my God, my Savior, Christ is King, you say that's anti-Semitic? Well, I say you're anti-Christ, right? Because how could you be more anti a person than crucifying them? Oh, y'all are so anti-Christ. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. You cannot be more anti somebody than killing them, right? That's the most anti a person you could be. And you kill Christ, right? Anti-Christ. You can chat GPT that or whatever and let it give you some Haspera talking points, whatever. The great noticing is happening, folks. Don't care. I understand that anybody who doesn't get it, they're either Jew or just behind the curve, but they'll catch up. I believe. They'll figure it out. Yeah, okay. See, look, it's like, man, when you start really speaking your truth, right? And your truth aligns with the word of God, the devil comes for you instantly. Look at these comments. The devil will come instantly, folks. Just like the devil did in the desert when he tried to tempt Jesus. But you gotta refrain from letting it eat you up. You gotta stay strong. That's what makes us different. That's why Christians are different. I'll tell you though, I still struggle with turning the other cheek because I really want to be combative every time. This is how my life's gone, right? Like that's just, that was my survival tactic was to be combative in certain instances, but I'm trying so hard to learn to do that little turn the cheek thing. And I'm practicing with this, with not entertaining the negative comments because who does that help, right? Sometimes I can make a funny little quip, right back. And if it makes someone laugh and smile, then cool. But right now, especially regarding this topic, there ain't nothing I can say back to what somebody's saying that doesn't agree with this that's gonna be funny. It ain't, because this shit's serious. We're there. We are there. We are in the book of Revelations. And I promise you this, something's going to happen February 22nd. I've been saying this. And I don't know why, but it's just been in my head over and over and over again since September of last year. February 22nd. I don't know what it's going to be. I have no idea. And maybe nobody will find out, but something's happening. And I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, February 22nd of 2026, I don't know. I really don't know, but it just keeps replaying in my head. I keep having these, I don't know. I don't know. I cannot explain it, guys, but just, I suggest that you at least try, right? At least try to talk to God. And if you try it and it don't work out for you, then hey, it ain't meant to be, but just try. Just try. What could it hurt, right? What could it hurt? Like, we do know this, okay? We know that no matter what Muslims, Christians, Jews disagree on, we all agree that Jesus was a historical figure that did exist. So you take that fact and go from there, okay? Call it what you want, but he was a real person. Jesus Christ did exist. We all agree on that. Every one of us, all religions agree on that. There's no religion that says he didn't exist. Except for maybe pagans and devil worshippers, but it's like, Satan, whatever. But it's like, okay, dude, like, whatever. Like, whatever y'all say is important. Really not. Because how could you, why would you, I just don't understand. Why would you live here and think, oh, this is it? This is it? This is what you think is it? Like, this is the best it's going to get for you? Is like a promotion in your workplace and more things, more materialistic things. That's the best you can get on earth. It is. It's just more shit. But it is exactly what I just said, shit. Why wouldn't you at least want to try to think, maybe there's a soul in here? Maybe there's more to me than a fucking snail on the fucking sidewalk that'll die with a pinch of salt. Maybe there's something more to me than that. But it's like you literally got to try. Because I'll tell you, the Spirit came to me. I would assume it does everybody like that. At least I hope that. So you'd have to try and fight it off to not believe. It's more to this shit than meets the eye. And why would you even want to believe that? Like, that's so basic. Fuck. I don't. Have you not seen the SpongeBob episode where him and Patrick get that little box and they go, use your imagination, right? It's like they look like they're having way more fun than Squidward. Which one do you want to be? Patrick and SpongeBob or fucking Squidward? And now, SpongeBob. Now, what are they doing out there? They're in that little box. Turn that motherfucker into a race car. Yeah, like, I fuck with that shit. I don't even want to think that, like, oh my God, it's just a body that just returns to the earth. And what happens to little old Edward? Nothing. He's done. Done. Well, what was it all for then? I'm not depressed, but I'm here for you if you are. God bless you. I believe in God. I don't believe you. Hold on. I don't believe you can or should know the name. No, but I'll tell you this though. I did pray. I did ask God. I said, because a few prayers that are some of my favorite things I've ever asked for God was, one of them was change my heart, because this is where it gets tough, folks. Like, you could want it, right? You could want this change, but still have to deal with your subconscious mind still going everywhere else. Get what I'm saying? Like, I had to pray that I didn't want the same life no more. I didn't want the shit that I thought was like the most important shit. I had to pray for that. I had to work on it. And then another thing I prayed for is I asked God, I said, God, and this was one that I feel like was kind of like me writing a check that my ass couldn't even cash. I said, God, I want to know how you feel right now. Make me feel how you're feeling about us in society, us human beings. God, I want to feel how you feel. I don't want to understand how you feel. I want to just feel it. Because I know I'll never understand. It's like, anything involving God, like, it's to have his understanding would be like us trying to explain the internet to an ant. I wasn't asking that. I wasn't trying to overstep on that. I just wanted to feel. I wanted to feel it. I wanted to feel how God felt. And boy, I tried to explain it. I've never read the book of Hosea. And I was explaining, though, what exactly I'm talking about. And the person I explained it to said, wow, that's the book of Hosea. I was like, who? I had no idea. But they told me I basically verbatim spoke the book of Hosea. And I was like, oh. So then I went back and I tried to, read it. But, I just, sometimes I can be a little lazy with it, like, I need to get better. I just finished the book of Matthew, though. I will say that. I did. I made sure, I made sure because I made a promise to my brother. My brother told me, he was like, if you're serious about this, like, you need to read the book of Matthew. That's the most accurate depiction of, like, how Jesus lived, etc. Because, there is no book of Jesus in the Bible. Like, there is none written by Jesus. So the closest I guess you get to it is Matthew, but I could be wrong. Like, I have not read the Quran, but I've read sections out of it. And, it's a lot better than the Talmud. I'll say that from what I know. And I know the Talmud's not there, whatever. I get it. But also, like, come on. There's some stuff in there that should not be anywhere. Like, rabbis, why would two rabbis debate whether it's okay for a girl the age of 3 years and a day old to have sex with a man? That is disgusting. That's just disgusting. That I don't care if you want to defend it by saying it's not like Jewish law. It's not like we're saying it's okay. It was just two rabbis debating over hypothetical issues. It's like, why is that even a hypothetical thing? Why should you even have to debate that? Like, it should be just a solid statement. No. How about that? It should just be no. Like, come on. That's just, miss me with that bullshit. Like, you're not going to get me, you could look at all these other goy the way that you do, but you're not me, because I actually read. I exercise this up here, okay? Sorry, I know y'all didn't want that, but you didn't teach me to read. You just gave me the wrong bullshit to read. There you go. Maxwell. Yep. Why does God allow greedy people to hoard the food? Would you let one child starve while another is fat? Is that moral? No, it's not moral. I agree with you. Yeah, there should not be billionaires. Look, I get it. There's, being wealthy, if you know what you're doing business-wise, you employ people. But there also should be no slave masters, and that's what you become. Like, sorry, but I'm not. Like, we should really be living off the land. We should be self-sufficient. No one should hoard anything. And really, we should live in a society where we just all share everything. Except your girl. Your woman is your woman. And nobody should try and steal that. But anything else, though. See, that's some shit that the Talmud, though, would have people debating on. Like, should a goy's girl be able to be... like, just saying. Like, nobody does that shit, yo. Hypotheticals like that are outrageous. And y'all just look into it if you don't believe me, but I ain't even trying to do that. Because I know that some of y'all will do it and really not understand, and then it'll create hatred, which I don't want that to be pushed. I know it seems like that, but I don't. Because if that were the case, I would trap a fucking bomb to my back, and I'd just go do some shit. I don't just talk, okay? If I'm going out there with it, that's what I'm doing. But that's not, like I said, that's not what I want. See, that doesn't work. That's already been tried, right? We all know about the painter, Mr. Adolf. Even though numbers may not all be accurate, there was an attempt. Regardless, it was failed. It hasn't worked. They've been persecuted by so many people and expelled from so many different countries. You're not going to get rid of them. That's not the answer. You got to be patient with them, and you got to stop hating them. Because that's what, it's like, I know it's such a mind fuck, right? It's like, but every time you hate on a Jew, they're sitting there like, we're getting stronger. We're getting stronger. It's like a bat symbol. Anti-Semitism is the gasoline that goes in the Jewish truck. That was hard. But you know it's correct. Let me say it again for all the folks in the back. Anti-Semitism is the gasoline that fuels the Jewish truck. Straight up. And off of that fuel, they're going down a road of hatred and chaos. And just, it's like, I get it though. I get it. I used to have daddy issues too. And I'm like, it's like, well, maybe they got daddy issues because they can't accept Jesus Christ as their father. But that's all it is. Jews just have daddy issues. They want to be loved, but they don't know it yet. And they hate that they want it. And they feel like everybody's out to get them. Their paranoia is the reason that they're so secular in belief, is because I get it. Like they've been through some shit. They've been through some bad experiences. But stop going around poisoning wells because of your paranoia. Operation. Y'all know. Just look it up. Thy bread. I can't say it all the way because it'll really cut me off. But Operation Thy bread. Look it up. Wells poison. ChatGPT will tell you some bullshit. Like you literally have to put the phrase in correctly though, and ChatGPT will tell you the answer. But nonetheless, I digress. Listen. Yeah, it's the answer isn't hatred, folks. It isn't. Because I'm telling you, they got me. I was really like, oh, I wanted to really hate these motherfuckers. And I'm so anti-racist. Like, literally, I hardly have any white friends. Literally, 90% of my friends are black. I'm not gonna say they're anything else though. It's black. And no, I don't even have a single Jewish friend. Like, but I say that to say, like, I get it. They're just, it's their paranoia of being rejected and, and being forced out again. And so they got to start over and they got to wander the desert. And it's like, okay, but also you shouldn't have done some of the shit you did. Like, you took over our country, bro, with money. You did it through force. Like, well, really, we had a few people at the top that allowed it. But regular citizens had no control over that. We just pay taxes because we have to. But it went to fund this whole bullshit. Like, come on, man. Like, really, you don't have enough land? Like, y'all have got a fucking population problem in Israel already? No, you don't. So what are you really doing? What do you want? What is it that you want? You got what we thought you wanted, but why do you want more? Why is there a greater Israel? Why can't it just be Israel? Israel's fine. How about that? Hashtag Israel's fine, period. Dude, come on. You've elected a leader who's literally killed more Jews than any Muslim has. Let's be honest. The Hannibal Directive. He funded Hamas because he's greedy. Benjamin Netanyahu, he's greedy. And he's insecure. He knows, like, come on, if you know your real history, you know he played a part in the assassination of the other prime minister. You also know he's been funding Hamas via Qatar through our tax dollars. Like, so shady that bags of cash had to be dropped off by Qatar to Hamas. It wasn't just like they cash apped the shit. No, duffel bags of money like it was a fucking drug deal. And then you have that music festival, right? Get booked right by the fucking border right there. Knowing that troops would be off for the Jewish holiday that was at that time. They knew all of this. They even brought it to court and asked them, are you sure we should allow this festival to go down? Say, yeah, it was okayed by the higher ups, meaning Benjamin Netanyahu. See, people should know this shit. He's killed more Jews than a fucking Muslim ever has. And then, given, I don't think that you should have to even compare numbers. Like, 1,200 dead people is still 1,200 dead people, and that's wrong. But so is 80,000 dead people. But what's the most fucked up is the killing of the innocent. You should never harm a child for just merely existing. What did they do to you? You're literally gonna kill a child to prove a point? for your agenda, it's terrible. I think that's got to be the biggest thing that God despises is killing the innocent. That's what my beef was with Charlie Kirk. And I was going to debate him in Nashville. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it to that event because somebody's responsible for assassinating him. We don't know who it is yet. We've all got our theories. I don't think it was the little furry fucker. You know. I just don't. Like, you can't convince me that dude broke down that rifle like that when he fucks furries and has no military experience. There's no way. Now, given, there's also some good critical pushback you can give, which is, why would he have been a patsy? Why would he be on that roof? Why would he da-da-da-da? I get that too. But there's also something called the Manchurian Candidate. You know, they used to do this with MK Ultra back in the day. Like, you think they can't control minds? They do it. Guess what? They probably did it to you at one point. You probably thought, I mean, come on, how much of your thoughts are really your thoughts anyway? Right? It's all influenced by something. There's a reason you try to keep up with the Kardashians. As if they matter. You don't keep up with Jesus, though. You'll keep up with a Kardashian, right? One whose mother could let her daughter sign her up for a pornographic film just to get famous because they were already rich. You know, Robert Kardashian, like the father already had money. He was a lawyer. Had big cases, was very successful. They already lived in the rich part of fucking California. They were good. You want to follow them, though. you want to keep up with a Kardashian, but you don't want to keep up with Jesus. Jews, I'm not talking about y'all, because I know y'all will never try and keep up with Jesus. I pray you do one day, though. I do. You know, I actually, you know, contrary to what y'all's belief about me may be, I've really tried. Like, I've been messaging a soldier from the IDF. And actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put out what we talked about because that's unfair to him. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Just know I've tried. Okay. Not much progress was made, but an attempt was there. An attempt was there for sure. Because I'm trying to handle this different, you know. I'm really trying to figure it out. Because I know the beginning of the end is here. It is. For sure. Just read Revelation. I mean, you don't even got to believe in the Bible. Just read Revelations and then take your head out of the Bible after reading it and look around. If you're not retarded, you'll be like, oh, shit. Okay. Well, might be a little validity to this shit after all. Yeah. Another rapper. I don't even know what that means. I'm sick of everyone just targeting a people en masse. I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you, homie. I don't know if you're a girl or a guy. That's why I would usually say my brother, I agree with you, but I don't know if you're a guy. But I definitely agree. You know, yeah, that's the most stupidest, ignorant shit ever. Like, nobody should be victimized for something they can't control. How they're born, right? Same way as those kids in Gaza, though, right? You know, you're quick to holler out anti-Semitic when you criticize a Jew, But nobody says anti-Islamic when you criticize a Muslim. Why is that fair? It's not. I'm sorry. It's the most hypocritical shit ever. You not heard the song by Finesse 2 Times? It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. Yeah, like Logic, duh. Come on, what makes you so special? And like, what makes you so special, but then also a victim? If you're so special, just annihilate us all. Fucking finish it. But if not, you gotta exist with us. Okay? And you don't get to be special. I'm sorry. Nobody has the right to exist. A right to exist? That means you're telling God where your leverage in the negotiation is. No, God, we have a right. No, the fuck you don't. You have whatever God decides to give you. You have whatever God decides you're worthy of. See, that's why you were expelled from Israel at first. See, I want to talk about that. You were in the land already. Why didn't you stay there, though? That's because God told you to get the fuck out. Because there was conditions that had to be met. And y'all did not abide by them. It's the truth. Look it up. Sorry if truth hurts, but I'm going to tell it. Because we've had too much perversion. You know, it says in the Bible, this was one of the selling points where they got me at, where I was like, oh, I can believe. God's word will never die. It won't. It can be mistranslated, though, and people can manipulate it. But I think God had a plan for those to counterbalance that and make sure that it is still has a chance to be interpreted correctly. See, that's what little words on a piece of paper can't do, but I can. I can sit here and make those words make sense. Christ is King. Amen. You know, and to those who do not accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, that's fine. Like, whatever. It's your life. But I'm telling you, there's no reason I would lie about this, yo. Go back and just look at my YouTube channel. Look at the degeneracy that I've talked about and lived a life of. It's all there, folks. I changed. Something changed me. Okay? It's not for no reason. I am I spent a lot of time wondering why God saved me when I was falling in the depths of hell, and that was about to be my eternity. It was. I'm like, why? Why God has just kept helping me, but had his hand on my shoulder like for this whole time. Like, why? And I realized it's because if would y'all believe it if it was somebody who was so fueled by self-righteous indignation, or a loser like me, right? Because that should show you the power of God. I wasn't born with this shit, yo. I wasn't. I was born the most anti all of this shit. But God never gave up on me. And he hasn't gave up on you either. He never will. He's always there. It's not too late. If you could watch this video, you still got a chance. You still got a chance as long as you're breathing. When you're not breathing, however, well, good luck. It's too late then. It's too late. And God is merciful, gracious, patient, loving. But he's also, just like you may have those attributes, you also got a temper too, don't you? Yeah. If you're capable of getting mad, guess what? We're made in God's image. So can God. And if you think That your little bullshit you do when you're mad at some girlfriend that cheated on you, if you think it's anything near comparable to what God's capable of, you're crazy. Because you'll fuck around and find out. That's the, hey, fuck around and find out was a real scenario that you can just label it as. It's that one right there. You will fuck around and find out. Telling you, I went to hell. It was no fun. I wouldn't even, that's why that's how you know I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't hate Jews. You know why? I'm trying to save them from this shit, this eternal damnation. Because it is inevitable. If you do not accept Jesus Christ, you will go to hell. I don't care what your rebuttal is. If you do not accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you will go to hell. You could be the nicest, best, most righteous. You could commit no sin. But if you do not accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you will still go to hell. I don't know how to make that any simpler. And Muslims, love you. I get it. You think he's a prophet? That's way better than, that's a way better starting point in negotiations than he's in hell burning in shit. I'll give you that. But no, the only way to heaven is through Jesus Christ. If you're going to go ahead and accept he's a prophet, just go a little step further. Let him save you. Or don't. And fuck around and find out. Because you will. Because as I told y'all, I prayed that I wanted to feel how God felt, right? Well, he feels like what I just described. He feels like he's getting cheated on. Because we are. We have been. We've been cheating on him. We have been. How many people prioritize God over their livelihood of what they got to do on earth now? If someone asks, if someone says, hey, you know what? Do you believe in Jesus? And if the answer is yes, you're fired and you lose your ability to make money on this earth. How many people will go ahead and comply and obey and say, you know what, I don't. Let me keep my job. As opposed to how many people would say, fuck my job. I'll starve to death. Jesus Christ is King and my only ruler. Unfortunately, I do not feel like the number of those people is where it needs to be. So, God is my ruler, not a man. Okay. Look, I'm not trying to debate you on something that's a belief. It's all subjective at the end of the day. It's factual to me, though, because I've experienced it. If it's not to you, then I'll continue to pray for you. I don't know what else to say. But I'm not going to debate you on it because you didn't go down that, you didn't go to hell with me. You didn't experience it with me. So you just don't know. And ignorance is bliss. Seems like you're very confident in where you sit from right now, but when you go to hell, you might not be able to come back from it. I was fortunate enough that I got a chance to. You might not, though. And Jesus was God. He wasn't a man. He came down in man form because he had to, and he also came back, coincidentally, as a Jew, king of the Jews, because they were worshiping false idols. They weren't listening to any other prophet that tried to tell them shit. So God was like, fuck, what can I do? What can I do for the poor little Jew? To teach them. Maybe if I come down as a king of them, they won't just crucify me. Well, I don't even think God thought that was even an option that they would even consider at that point. That's gotta really hurt. Straight up. Straight up. Just think about it. Think about fucking having a kid and that kid wants to murder you. But not just murder you, though, in the worst way, painfully. Imagine that. You clearly just don't understand. Dude, like I said, it's like explaining the internet to an ant. You're not supposed to understand what God's logic is because it's not logic. It's everything. It's something so above you. That's why we have to have faith. You know, if you want, man, I don't know. Just pray about it. I don't know what to tell you. I get it though. I get it. If you don't, then okay. See, look, I don't have to use an ad hominem attack at you. Oh, this dummy. I'm actually not a dummy. I actually have an IQ of 146. I'm actually a genius on paper, but it's like, I'm not going to attack you. You know why? You're watching me. I'm not watching you. So I have no idea who you are, but I'll pray for you still. Either way, because you don't hurt my feelings. I know who I am. Do you, though, however? That's the thing. See, look, you've never seen hell. Okay, fine. You win. Does that make you feel better? What did you accomplish through doing that? It's like all of this is so counterproductive, yo. Like, either you want to know some more knowledge and I can give you what I've learned, or just why are you even taking the time out of your day to watch me just to say that so I can acknowledge you and you feel that like gave you some sort of boost? I don't get it. That's correct. I agree with you. But IQ is your ability to acquire knowledge. And it's how fast and how well you can comprehend a subject. I'm not even doing that. Why do I got to? Others have the same, but okay. Like, what's my favorite scripture? I'll just tell you, my favorite everything is the book of Matthew. I love Revelations too, though. Everything in Revelations and everything in Matthew. I love. Acts, I'm on Acts right now, by the way. And I'm liking Acts, I'll tell you that. But probably exactly for the reasons y'all think I would like it. No big red dude or Jesus or Jeebus. See, look, Jesus made you. Ah, shit. Either you're just retarded or he forced a typo right there. Yes, Axe is fire. No pun. It's amazing. I love Axe. I'm only I'm hardly into it. I think I'm only on chapter 3. So yeah, I agree with you, Theodore. Are you boss hogs tarded grants? See, like grandson. Like you don't even. Dude, trolling is so 2022. Why do y'all still do this? What do y'all get out of it? Are you literally fitting the stereotype of the person that actually lives in their mother's basement? And like, this is what you live for? Is to try and see if you can invoke an emotion out of me because you don't have any? Because you care about nothing? That's why your life is nothing but nothingness, because you care about nothing. So you sit around all day, and this is what you do, is you try and give an ad hominem attack as somebody who only cares about trying to help and just spread knowledge that they've acquired. I'm not saying that I'm perfectly right or wrong, etc. All I'm doing is trying to give you what I've learned. Okay? You can call me wrong. Like, that's fine. I'm not saying that I couldn't be wrong. I'm not perfect. No one is. But me especially, I'm not. I'm telling you, being transparent, I'm letting you know ahead of time. Anything I say could be wrong, but I'm telling you what I've experienced. That cannot be wrong. I'm telling you facts about what I've experienced. For anything that's subjective, however, you should be able to know and use your critical thinking brain to come up with your own opinion on it. I'm not trying to force it down your throat. You don't have to be watching me. I'm not showing up at your door forcing this down your fucking throat. No, I'm right here and you're sitting here deciding to listen. How much harder could that concept be? Who's to say I would even pick Jesus Christ? You know, I'd probably spend a day with Abraham. I got some questions, you know, like, yeah, I wouldn't even, I talk to Jesus every day. I don't talk to Abraham every day or Moses. I'd pick probably one of them or Judas. I'd pick probably the worst of worst in the Bible. I'd pick some of the worst people. That's who I want to talk to. I don't need to talk to Jesus. I talk to Jesus every day. I wouldn't have to spend a day with him. I do already. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't worship anybody else. I worship him. Well, yeah, of course you need to hear all the facts to make a decision. But the thing is, that's the problem. We have not been given all the facts. Everything has been distorted since the day you were born. You never had a fair shot at getting the right knowledge. See, now we have an opportunity if we try hard enough to share knowledge amongst each other to get to the hopefully the same goal, which should be coexistence, peaceful coexistence. I don't know why that's such a hard concept for people. Like, but people will always have hatred. There will always be demonic people with hatred in their heart. That's why I'm telling you, like, I know, like, a Holocaust is not the answer. A genocide is not the answer, folks. And I don't know what the answer is, though. I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. We have so much hatred. It's like, what do you do? Do you just take out capitalism? I don't know. I don't know. But as long as there's shit to be jealous of, there's going to be people envious. And that's what caused a lot of this shit. You know, it's, I don't know. I wish I knew. I'm trying, though. I'm trying to figure it out. I promise. And whatever I can do to help and be subservient to that cause, I'm down for it. I will. See, look, it's so basic, dude. Calm down, Bad Bunny. Like, that's not even funny. If you're gonna troll, at least be funny. Be creative. Like, I'm talking about serious things, and you're just taking them so lightly. Like, you don't even care. And the joke's gonna be on you. You don't even realize it. Do you own a home? You know, the average first-time home buyer used to be 25. It's now 38. That's how people build equity. That's how they gain wealth. See, you want to sit around and fucking troll on the internet, though, and think you're making a difference in the world because you might have invoked a reaction out of somebody who's trying to literally come up with solutions to help everybody. Like you're helping. Okay. I wasn't talking to you, though. But that's awesome. Congrats. You should have, well, I'm not even gonna say that because this debt system is messed up. But it's like you got to play the game, though. You do. It's unfortunate. Wish we didn't have to. But everybody that's tried to get us away from it has been shot in the fucking head. Abraham Lincoln, greenbacks, boom, offed. Next, JFK, boom, offed. It's like, You know, I was scratching it. And so what? Maybe I was picking a fucking booger. Who cares? Why do you care? Why do you care about what I do with my nose? Like, if I was a certain group of people, I'd have a way bigger nose to pick, and you could probably hide in there. JK. Nah, hold on. I know that's a lie, but real shit though. All the OG booger pickers know what the play is. It's under the shoe. When you have nowhere, if you don't have somebody you're passing by that you can just wipe it on and it's too sticky to roll up and flick, put that shit under your shoe. That's where it goes. Boogers go under your shoe. Okay? Life hack. Put boogers under your shoe if you have no tissue. Under the shoe. Jew. So what do I believe in? I mean, I think I've made it pretty clear. I believe in Jesus Christ as my savior. I'm a Christian. It's simple as that. Like, boring stuff. Like, okay, get off. Like, go get off, then go get off. How about that? Have a fun night. Okay. Some of us care about talking about these things though, because we realize we've been robbed of the knowledge that everybody should have. So the best way is it takes a village. It really does. I believe that. Truly. We have to help each other, like, more than just financially, etc. Like, it's not just giving a handout, but we got to share knowledge. We got to share each other's stuff. Like, positively, though, Like, but still, there's going to be people that are just so negative. And misery needs company. They're always going to talk shit to you. There's just some people like that. Because demon possession is real. And so therefore, I don't blame them. And I will pray for them always. Every once in a while, you can get me to strike back, however. I'm working on that. But I'm still human. I'm still a sinful, flawed human at the end of the day. But I'm working on getting better at least. I'm trying. I know I'll never be perfect. But I'm going to strive to be better each and every day that I exist, because I think that's what the job is. I think that's the more important job. It's not your Amazon 9 to 5. I think it should be building out your eternity. Like, there's a expiration date on this meat sack that we all kind of have to live in right now. That will die. It's a fact. That is a fact. Your body will die eventually. That doesn't mean your spirit has to. And, I wish I could tell y'all I got to experience heaven and tell you what that was like, but I didn't. I went to hell. I can tell you what that was like. And I know anything's better than that, for a fact. There's nothing that could potentially be worse than hell. That's a fact. And it's simple too. Like, there's not a bunch of bells and whistles to it, folks. It's just simply nothingness. It's the absolute absence of everything. And that, to me, was the worst thing ever. Truly. So, but anyways, I told myself I'm going to start trying to catch a little bit of sleep at night. So I'm going to hop up off here. But if I didn't get to your comments, and stuff like that, I might go over this video tomorrow. I'm gonna leave it posted. Just know I love all of y'all. And if anybody's struggling, going through a hard time, needs somebody to pray for them, I'll do it. Send me a request. Tell me what's going on. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. Even if you think I'm an ugly, old, gray-headed, washed-up rapper, like, I'll still sit here and talk to you, and I'll actually hear you out on why you think that. And you know, I'm trying. I'm trying, guys. I really am. Like, I've lived enough selfishness. I'm done. I'm here to serve however I can. So if I could be there for you, I will, no matter what. And I honestly, I forgive anybody who's ever made a negative comment towards me, and I probably never hated you anyway. So yeah, I'll pray that you get to a point where you don't have to do that to feel better about yourself, because it really doesn't make you feel better about yourself. It just kind of is like a band-aid on a wound that needs stitches. Let's figure out how to stitch it up. Let's stop. Let's stop playing games like that. You don't gotta fucking, what's that site called? The little it's a little therapy site. You don't need BetterHelp, okay? You don't need all that. We just need to care about each other more. That's the better help. Is that we help each other. You don't need an insurance policy to go through and, pay for somebody that went to school for it. No, like, dude, school's done nothing but lead us down the wrong path anyway. So what? You got out and you figured out that a squared plus b squared equals c squared? Like, cool. That ain't the point of any of this. No, it ain't. Remember, the apple in the Garden of Eden represented something. What did it represent? Right? Sometimes there's shit you don't really need to know, because what happens is you start to focus on that, and that takes you away from what truly matters. And what truly matters is your relationship with your Savior, your Creator, and all of that Creator's creations. We've gotten so far from that it's pretty sad. It's heartbreaking, but I still have faith and I have hope. The old me didn't. Like I said, the old me wanted to kill myself. So anyways, I love you guys. Holler at me if y'all are struggling or need any help with anything. I will literally make time for everybody as long as I can. As long as I can, I will. I promise. Love y'all.